Safety and defend our communities for law-abiding American citizens. We need, look, the crime is most rampant right here and in African American communities, and more people see me and they say, sir, we want protection. We want police to protect us. We don't want to get robbed and mugged and beat up or killed.
On behalf of the black community, I would like to say, no, we don't. Stop your bullshit.
We need.
No, we don't. No, we don't. We really want to be left alone a lot of the times. We want fair wages. We want more than fair wages. We want livable conditions. We want to be treated as equals. We don't want to be racially profiled. We don't want to be gunned down. We don't want our kids to be fearful. We don't want more police in our neighborhoods. We want to live. That's what we want. And we want to live as if we are human beings. That is what we want. We don't want what you call what martial. We don't need y'all for that.
We gonna give two shits and flies about what you gonna do for us. We don't want you doing us. You stay right when the hell you at with you and your magmas. I had it my way. We will separate the city, state, and everything from your government, okay? And have Kamala as our president, because clearly, hell, I would have Bush as my president before I have you as my president, baby. We don't want you.
And defend our communities for law-abiding American citizens. We need, look, the crime is most rampant right here and in African American communities, and more people see me and they say, sir, we want protection. We want police to protect us. We don't want to get robbed and mugged and beat up or killed because we want to walk across the street to buy a loaf of bread. They want it so badly. The fake news doesn't talk about it. But the black population wants law enforcement more than any other population. So, and defend our communities for law-abiding American citizens. We need.
On behalf of the black community, I would like to say, no, we don't. Stop your bullshit. Get the fuck on. Stay the fuck away from us.
Right here and in African American communities, and more people see me and they say.
You see, now y'all done piss me off. Baby Trump, we gonna give two shits and flying fucks about what you gonna do for us. We don't want you doing shit for us. You stay right when the hell you at with you and your magmas. I had it my way. We will separate the city, state, and everything from your government, okay? And have Kamala as our president, because clearly, hell, I would have Bush as my president before I have you as my president, baby. We don't want you. Ain't nothing wrong with our crime in our cities. We've been having crime for a long time. We know how to lock our damn doors and lay down and mind our business. We don't need you over here. We don't want you coming to our cities. We're not asking you to come help us. Bitch, no. If anything, we're asking Russia to get the hell away from us, and Europe, China, or somebody else to come help us and feed us, because you don't want to feed us either. Get your ass away from us, sister.
Hey, what's up, fam? How you doing? How you doing? Super great from wherever you're watching me from. As you know, I'm your presenter, Ginger Stories, and I'm hoping that you're doing super fine. Now, Mr. Donald Trump, I don't know if it's true, but somehow he's yet to invoke martial laws towards black people. The reason behind it is that he's trying to protect black people from being stolen from being beaten. Now, why does this doesn't make sense? This doesn't make sense, especially to black people, because look, black folks have lived with the same negative experience towards the people that they are now putting to protect black people. Honestly, I'll say this up front. Black people have been silenced for the longest time, and I think this somehow is triggering something towards these folks. Seeing the president himself talking about invoking militarism to protect black people, to protect them from what? That's the question. Because if the people that you're sending to the black communities to help black people are the ones who have been making the lives of black people so hard. Now, make it make sense when you're trying to say that these are the same people that are going to help black folks. So to me, I don't understand why it makes sense. This is the highest form of gaslighting. It is using reverse psychology towards black folks. But I'm happy that black folks are getting to see this and they understand what they need to do, because black folks are not accepting. When you try to look at the American history, especially the black history, which is still an American history, you get to understand how slavery happened. Look at the police patrol towards black people and how they treated black people. Look at how the militarism of the police, how these people went ballistic on black people, how they treated black people. And right now you want to say that you want to send these people in the black communities? In short, you're trying to say that every city in the United States is going to be a sundown town. That's what you mean. But I'm really, really interested in hearing black people's opinion in regards to this. And I want us to watch this video, and then I'll be back. I'll be sharing my opinion in regards to this. Now, let's watch the video. I'll be back. If you're watching us for the first time, I'll ask you to subscribe to the channel, join our membership, and really get to see what we can offer you. As you know, I'm your presenter, Jintex Stories, and your host at the same time. Please consider subscribing to our channel, join our membership, and really get to see what we can offer you. And I'm saying highly thankful for those who are sending me super thanks, highly thankful for those who are supporting me through my Cash App account. Now let's watch the video. I'll be back, and then I'll be sharing my thoughts in regards to this. So let's watch the video.
Stay away from us, please.
And defend our communities for law-abiding American citizens. We need.
No, we don't. No, we don't. We really want to be left alone a lot of the times. We want fair wages. We want more than fair wages. We want livable conditions. We want to be treated as equals. We don't want to be racially profiled. We don't want to be gunned down. We don't want our kids to be fearful. We don't want more police in our neighborhoods. We want to live. That's what we want. And we want to live as if we are human beings. That is what we want. We don't want what you call what martial law. We don't need y'all for that. We had our own things going on. We was doing our own things. Y'all are the ones afraid of us. Afraid of us for what? Look at y'all history. Look at our history. We don't want that. That's what we don't want. So all your lies, stop it. Stop it. This shit pissed me off so bad, bruh. I usually put on clothes to do some videos. I didn't even put on. I seen this video and we don't want you. We don't need you. We don't need your help. Let us do our own thing and leave us alone.
Right here and in African American communities, and more people see me and they say,
Bitch, you love words that start with motherfucking B, huh? Cause you keep Biden's name in your fucking mouth, and you always worried about the motherfucking blacks. Bitch, we ain't worried about you. Keep our motherfucking name out your motherfucking mouth. Cause the only motherfucker that's robbing us is your punk ass. Fucking 34-time fucking felon. Oh, bitch ass.
black population wants law enforcement more than any other population. So
You want to get us so bad. Fuck the white leftists. Fuck all of you IPOC motherfuckers who wanted to play fucking games during the election. Fuck all of y'all, bro. Because if they really pull this shit, yo, this ain't the fucking late 80s, 90s no more, dog. We ain't calling for that criminal reform type bullshit they was asking for back then. He ain't. And you know what? It's getting to the point. One of y'all niggas is gonna have to do it. One of y'all non-black people is gonna have to do this shit. Cause y'all gonna have to make up for what the fuck y'all did by not letting that woman in. Y'all really gonna have to make that shit up. It should be a brown person too.
Homies, it's your girl AMG Benzo back with another hot take from the Big Homies house. And if you like the hot takes, you already know what to do. Well, it looks like y'all boy Trump is going to be rolling out martial law. And even though he hasn't officially said it, what he's saying in this new executive order essentially is giving martial law. Hold on one second. For those of you who don't know what martial law is, that's basically when the replacement of civilian government becomes taken over by military ruling. So basically, they want to bring in the military tactics and give it to the police, or just bring in the military to run the government altogether. Y'all hold on one more second. So what will be happening in the next 90 days? Federal agencies are going to increase the flow of military and national security to local law enforcement. Basically, our civil rights won't matter. And that means that anybody that goes against it can be subject to legal actions. So, stopping and frisking That'll be a thing. Aggressive tactics during protests, that definitely can be a thing. Escalated violence in police-civilian interactions will definitely be a thing, whether it's non-emergency or emergency situations. And this is all happening within 90 days. It doesn't clarify the types of equipment, but in the past it has been armored vehicles, tactical equipment, and surveillance technology. So it's just going to be situations that can eventually harm us. And warrants, don't worry about it. They can just come into your house. So our civil rights is subjectively being taken away. So I just basically want to know, what are y'all thoughts on this? Because this just rolled out on Monday, and we over here talking about everything but this. Y'all drop some comments below. People feel people. I hope you feel me. Peace out.
News doesn't talk about it, but the black population wants law enforcement.
Let's be crystal clear. What black people want is equal justice. What black people want is for black people to not be executed in the streets and allow officers to get away with, I thought my life was in danger. I felt I was threatened. When they shot the person in the back as they ran away. What black people want is when young white boys break laws, assault people, do pranks and hijinks, not to be called boys and children. You know, like the coach's son, 21 years old, and they called it a childish hijinks for him to steal someone's phone call, make prank calls, and broadcast those calls. It was a hijinks. He at 20 fucking years old, he was referred to as a boy. Or Tamara Rice was shot down, and they referred to him as a man. We saw a man. We felt threatened. We thought they were a danger. That is what the black community wants. We see you. You found El Salvador to shuffle off people 3 or 4 shades lighter than us. But we also hear that you and Rubio are talking to Rwanda and 2 or 3 other African nations where you could deport black Americans out of the country. Yeah. Black Americans want to know about that shit. Black Americans are watching you. Black Americans have known how prejudiced you are for decades. What black Americans want is for our white counterparts to get their boots on the fucking ground. I want them to speak every day about you. That's what black Americans want. Not the toadies. Not the ones that you sift through. Who, when you say, we all agree, you know, they sit there and go, no. Not those black Americans. Us, who speak out with our whole chests. Those are the black Americans that you're afraid of. Yeah. Those are the black Americans that you don't really want to hear from because it doesn't fit into your neat little box. Black Americans don't have mass school shootings, but you made a point of talking about crime in our area, as if there's no crime in the suburbs, as if husbands aren't beating the fuck out of their wives, as if so much white crime is not going on out there, white collar crime. Well, but that's not important. Strangely, you like to talk about crime, but you don't talk about the rich people who got poor kids to go steal from drugstores, department stores, do mass raids, you know, where they ran in and broke all the display cases. Those were rich people that got them to do the dirty work. Yeah, that right there. But you don't want to pay attention to those folks. More white people are on food stamps than people of color. More white people have ripped off food stamps, Medicaid, Medicare, than black people. But, black people are afraid of crime. Black people are afraid to go to the store and get a loaf of bread. Black people want police. No, black people want police to be held accountable. They want to get rid of that fucking immunity that you're so happy with. Because, see, black people understand that whole immunity shit didn't come up till the early 80s. So, all that time in the history of law enforcement, if officers fucked up, they were held accountable. You now want police unions to pay for police officers' attorneys. You know, those who broke the law, those who disgraced the badge that they chose to wear. I'm waiting for my retired police officers to say, fuck that shit. We did all the rules. We behaved. We followed the law. And because this guy decided to beat the crap out of an innocent person, be they homeless or whatever, you want my retirement funds to pay for their defense? Yeah, I'm waiting for the police unions to publicly say, if you want to pay for that shit, you go the fuck ahead. Hey, Mr. Big Wallet, crack open your wallet. You pay for their fucking defense. And then they can pay you back. Because we have retired officers over here who live off that pension. And you're not going to drain that shit because you're already talking about getting rid of Social Security and Medicare. Then what the fuck would they have? Yeah. That right there. Pay strict attention to this goddamn video. I'm going to go look it up. Go watch it. Because it damn sure sounds like martial law if you have brown skin. I could be wrong, but y'all fill me in. Go watch it. I'm also going to post it, just in case TikTok decides to get a little fucking freaky. It will be posted both here and on my YouTube. Tea Time with T. So even if they take it down, you can go watch it there. Tell me what you think. Because I respond back.
When someone crashed into my car, like in January of this year, about 6 police cars came. 6 police cars came and they did nothing the whole time. And I kept asking them, hey, what's the next steps? Because I've never had a car crash before. I've never had this happen to me where someone just crashes into my parked car. What am I supposed to do? What are the steps? And the only thing they could tell me was that I need to get my car off of the sidewalk. They were like, we're not allowed to give you advice. We're not allowed to tell you what to do next. So they were all there twiddling their thumbs. 12 people getting paid public dollars, over $80,000, by the way. Over $80,000 to stand there and do nothing while I'm trying to figure out this stressful situation in which they can't even intervene or provide any kind of assistance at all. And the one person who did tell me what to do told me that they're going to tow my car because it's the only option. And I'm like, why? And they're like, oh, because it has to be off the sidewalk. And I'm like, okay, but like, what if I had someone tow it? They're like, it's going to be more expensive if you do it that way. So let's tow it to the police lot, the police lot. The reason why they did that is because if you can't pay to get your car out of the police lot, they own your car. It's like, I think it's like a week or two of it being there. They just own it outright. They made me tow my car to their lot, which cost $300 to get it out, by the way, for one day of being in the lot. So they could own my car and then sell it in the police auction. Guy lied to me. Boldface lied. They're somehow so understaffed, by the way, that they couldn't make my police report in 3 weeks. It took them over 3 weeks to write a police report where the only thing that happened is a guy with no insurance crashed into my car, and then both cars got towed. It wasn't a complicated incident. Took 3 weeks to process that. They were somehow understaffed by their own admission, yet 12 of them could stand around doing nothing while my car was being dealt with by no one. On top of all that, I had to do the police work to determine the guy didn't have insurance, because the card he gave me was, it was the AAA insurance card, but it wasn't the AAA insurance card. It was a AAA card for when you need a tow. That's the card they gave me. And they gave it to the cops too, and the cops wrote down that as their insurance. So I had to go and tell the cops, hey, that card with the numbers on it, that's not an insurance card. It clearly says that it's not an insurance card. You can also know this if you do anything regarding traffic violations, because this is part of your job. I don't want any more cops. I don't want any more leeches and drains on the system. $80,000 can't even do the report in over like 3 weeks, like 3 weeks. And yet all the 12 of them can stand there making $80,000 a year. 12 of them standing there for over an hour while I do what I have to do. I call my insurance. I take all of my supplies out of my car, all my things out of my car. I let them tow it away so they can scam me into owning my car. Yeah, okay. We need more cops. No, we need more smart people.
The crime is most rampant right here and in African American communities. And
Who? Which black people? Which black Americans told this fool that we want police protection? Who? I want to see y'all raise y'all hand.
So in the 3 months that this man has been president, for the most part, the black community has been home, enjoying their families, taking care of themselves and their mental health. You've seen us online talking about different ways that we'll spend our money, boycotting certain businesses and institutions economically. We've maintained time and time again that we will not be taking to the streets and demonstrating the same way we demonstrated 5 years ago. And we've been adamant about the fact that the second we step out there, this administration is going to do something, or the people that support this administration are going to do something. We saw that happen firsthand in Philadelphia, where black protesters were arrested, out of nowhere. But what have we also been saying? What have I also been saying when I make these videos? There is a need to provoke the black community right now. There is a need to get us pissed off, get us violent, and justify the fact that this president wants to use military force against black people. And not only that, he wants to do it in a way that feels justified. Get us angry, get us violent, get us destroying things. He can use the military against us and tell the rest of America that it is because we are so aggressive. And we haven't taken the bait. We've done a very good job of not taking the bait. But even still, this man gets in front of a camera, gets behind a microphone, and he says, we need police, we need military, we need law enforcement more in black communities. No mention of the neo-Yazis. Remember the neo-Yazis in Ohio who specifically went to terrorize a black community? No mention of that. It is getting really close to crunch time for the orange man and his regime, all right? They are struggling to keep the favor of the people. Now, we know the loud supporters are still out here talking about everything is great, they don't see anything wrong, and they're getting everything that they're voting for. But for the most part, America is not happy with this president. If they cannot change the subject, if they cannot change the narrative, if they cannot provoke our community so that they can establish a visual on who they want the bad guy to be, everybody's gonna see that this thing is not gonna last. And that's why I keep making videos like this, and that's why I keep saying the things that I'm saying. Pay attention to what they are trying to do. It is absolutely a struggle to stay popular when all of your policies are directly hurting your own voters. But if he can get that black community front and center and make us look like the bad guys, he'll be able to continue operating with full impunity. But without that, his days are numbered. I guarantee it.
The crime is most rampant right here and in African American communities and
So this man had the audacity to say that crime is up in African American neighborhoods, and that is an absolute lie. Crime is actually down in African American neighborhoods because the 92%, we're in the house resting because we know exactly what the plan has been all along, to get our bodies out in the streets so y'all can start trying to unalive us. And we're not playing into your game. And so this orange thing gets up here and says that more policing is needed in our neighborhoods, that we asked for it. We did not. We don't want them in our neighborhoods because they are violent. And this is what I want to tell you, young ladies and you guys, the young men, when you're going out on job interviews and hanging out with, you know, the unmelanated, with the job interviews. Young man went on a job interview, passed, you know, the tests and all of that stuff, interviewing with an unmelanated woman, and his first assignment as a young black man, not even 30 years old, okay? A job that starts at 7 in the evening and ends at 3 a.m. in the South. Thank God that this young man had the forethought to think about the danger that he was being put in, that he was being faced with, and respectfully declined the position. No, ma'am. That is very scary for me. Getting off from work at 3 o'clock in the morning and hoping and praying I make it home, not because I may get into an accident, because of the police that are out there. You are feeding me to the wolves. The cops are out there hunting respectfully, and I don't need to be out there. And what I want to tell the 92% community is be careful, be mindful of things like that, especially when you're out there hanging with your friends and they want you to go to the store with them or go to the store and pick something up in the middle of the night, at night, and you by yourself. Don't do it. Brothers, please stay home. Protect yourself. Think safety first. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, if you have a good mother, the first thing that she instills in you as you're growing up is safety first. That is paramount. And it is more needed now than ever. Safety first. Do not let these snow bunnies have you out 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, where you're likely to get stopped by the police. And then you go missing. So please take heed to that. Because he's trying his best to send police into our neighborhoods. And we're not doing anything. We're not provoking anyone. You know, the Karens out here, you know, that everybody's out here with the hard ER word. You know, they are really trying to provoke us. Stay in the house. Stay in the house. And don't take no jobs that have you getting off at 12 to any time in the middle of the night, because it's their hunting grounds. Police are out hunting. They're hunting humans, black people. Let's be clear about that.
Hey, what's up, folks? How you doing? Welcome back to the channel. I'm just hoping that you are super great. I'll say this is the top-notch hypocrisy that if it's true what Mr. Donald Trump is trying to do, you can't put you can't put a cheetah to protect a goat. It has never happened. At the end of the day, the cheetah will hit the goat. It will never protect. Are you trying to spy on black people or something? I don't know, but it may seem like that, because the historical context that I'm going to be giving in regards to this will really show you what I'm trying to say. Now, the roots of state violence against black people. This is something that has been happening still. The roots of state violence against black people in America can be traced back to slavery. Enslaved Africans were controlled not just by individual slaveholders, but also by slave patrols. A state-sanctioned group of white men who policed black bodies, enforced curfews, prevented escapes, and quelled any signs of rebellion. These patrols were precursors of modern American policing, especially in the southern United States. The very foundation of law enforcement for black people was tied not to protection, but to control and suppression. This legacy is deeply influences how law and order are still applied in racialized way. Now, what is happening at the currently is totally opposite of what used to happen in history. The same damn people, that the same people who used to kill black people, that the same people who used to make black people look like animals because they place curfew towards them, they do all these things. I really don't understand the logic behind if this is really true what it's trying to do, but asking this critically, it doesn't make sense. Now, let's talk about Reconstruction and criminalization of blackness. After the Civil War, during the Reconstruction era, black people briefly gained political and civil rights. But white backlash soon followed with the rise of black codes and later Jim Crow laws. Southern states used the law to re-enslave black Americans through the criminal justice system. Being black became criminalized in subtle and overt ways. Vagrancy laws, loitering charges, and minor infractions were used to justify arrest and forced labor. Law enforcement became an arm of white supremacy, sustaining racial hierarchies through legal means. This shows you that everything that they're trying to do, maybe they're trying to push it negatively, but these might be Reconstruction and the criminalization of blackness. These are all things that you're seeing, and you'll come to tell me later. I'm also going to talk about the role of martial laws and military force because there's a direct link between the two. Throughout the US history, martial laws or the threat of it occasionally has been used in moments of racial unrest. While it has sometimes been deployed to protect black citizens, as right now Mr. Donald Trump is trying to explain. As during the desegregation of schools in 1950s, more often it has been used to suppress black protest and maintain public order defined by white norms. From the race riots of Red Summer, that is in 1919, to uprising in Watts 1965 and Detroit in 1967, the National Guard was deployed not to just contain unrest, but violently assert control over black communities. This set of patterns where the state's overwhelming force was justified against black resistance, no matter the cause. It is like I was trying to tell you, Mr. Donald Trump is trying to use but reverse psychology. Why? Because when you put police to protect black people, it means that black people themselves cannot go out and protest at the same time. While black people doesn't have nothing to do with protest because this is nothing that they have been trying to do. For the longest time I've seen, black people have always strived to remain silent as per I know until now. So matters at the moment is that he's trying to use the reverse psychology to make black people to still be afraid of getting out. While he doesn't know that black people don't even care about going out because the very system that is placed is the same system that is making white folks to have problems. Today I'm seeing white truckers complaining about all those stuff that is happening in tariffs and how it has affected black farmers, how it has affected every person, middle class Americans, how it has really affected them. So black people doesn't have any damn business to do with all the things that are really happening. I'm going to be talking about the surveillance and the COINTELPRO. In the 1960s and 70s, the FBI COINTELPRO program targeted black civil rights organizations like the Black Panther Party, SNCC, and even the figures like Martin Luther King Jr. under the justification of national security. These groups were often branded as subversive or dangerous despite advocating for community protection, education, and justice. The surveillance and harassment by law enforcement show that state power has been weaponized against, not against crime per se, but against black political empowerment. Right? This history fades ongoing mistrust between black communities and law enforcement agencies. Look at the instance on war on drugs and mass incarceration, according to what was happening in the 1980s, especially in Southern America. Starting in the 1980s, the so-called war on drugs initiated under Reagan and expanded under subsequent administration, including Clinton. Massively increased police presence in black neighborhoods, harsh sentence laws, racial profiling, and stop and frisk policies led to the mass incarceration of black men, women, and youth. Although white Americans use drugs at comparable rates, black people were often more likely to be arrested, charged, imprisoned. The state once again deployed its power in ways that devastated black communities while clocking its action in the language of public safety. Now, let's go to the present day. It is in the 21st century. The police militarization in the 21st century. Now, the post-911 era saw a dramatic increase in militarization of local police departments, with federal programs supplying them with military-grade equipment. Black neighborhoods often became the testing grounds of these tactics and weapons. The use of SWAT teams for non-violent warrants, the deployment of armored vehicles during protests, and frequent use of tear gas and rubber bullets against demonstration reflects a military approach to civil policing, especially with those protests are black or fighting for black lives. This laid groundwork for the kind of responsive we saw during the Trump administration. I'm also going to be talking about Donald Trump and the law and order narrative. This is something that has been going on for the longest time. When Donald Trump invoked for the need of law and order, it was tapping into a long history of the phrase being used to justify repression of black resistance. This language was popularized by politicians like Richard Nixon and Ronald Reagan, who used to appeal to white voters anxiously about civil rights and social change. Under Trump, law and order was used to frame Black Lives Matter protests as chaotic, dangerous, and un-American, thereby justifying militarized crackdowns and threat of martial laws. His use of force in Washington, D.C. during the peaceful protests in Lafayette Square was a symbolic and literal example of state violence against black dissent, right? There's so much things that are going on that we could talk about, but at the end of the day, I'm just proud of black folks in the decisions that they're making right now, because they are unwaved by all this noise, by all this chaos that is going right now in the United States. I'm just hoping that you're safe from wherever you're watching me from. I'm your presenter, Jindok Stories, and I'm hoping to see you in my next video. But until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.